So were you doing work with the FBI? How did the FBI find out about you and reach out?
Oh, so that one's also a pretty funny story. So I've always enjoyed, I guess, besides being the astronaut type of thing, I've always enjoyed sort of the mysteries and things like that. And I never actually wanted to be an FBI agent or anything like that. That's not my I didn't want to work for government or do law enforcement, but I do find it super fascinating. I enjoy that. I enjoy that. And so there was the FBI has this thing called the FBI Citizens Academy. Have you heard of that, Joe?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so first, those of your listeners who haven't, essentially the FBI as well as the DEA and all these other organizations, they, as part of their community outreach, they have these classes that as a US citizen you can take that teach you about what they do. So it's totally for people who are not actually working for them. So I was super interested in going, and you have to be nominated by an FBI agent in this particular case, or they don't even look at your application. And so I don't know anybody. I didn't at the time. I knew nobody, and then I thought, okay, well, I would really love to do this. I just like to learn. I think it'd be fun. So I spent about 9 months trying to figure out who the decision makers were, who would decide who the people that they accept are, because they don't really accept very many people. And so I spent a ton of time and I figured out that they were having a class on behavioral analysis of behavioral profiling at one of their offices. And I had reached out to one of the people through my research and said, "Hey, could I register for that?" And to my surprise, they registered me. So I showed up at the event. One of the ladies asked me, "Hey, we know everybody in here, but we don't know you. Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm super interested in kind of what you do." So I signed up. They're like, "But this is private." And I said, "Well, I'm registered. You can check,"
Yeah,
which wasn't a lie.
right.
And she said, "Yeah, yeah, we get that. We get that. But how did you do that?" And I explained to her that I did a bunch of research and I did it. And then because I knew so much when I registered, I guess I'm assuming, I don't know,
Yeah.
that essentially I social engineered them into into letting me into the room. And she said, "Well, seriously, you're here just to learn." And I said, "Yes, seriously, that's what I am doing." And I told her my credentials and stuff like that, so she knew that I do enjoy that sort of thing. And so she said, "That's really impressive. If you're interested, I'll sponsor you." So that was how I was able to attend the classes the following year, and then after that, I've continued the relationships and been able to meet people and all that. So they've gotten to know me pretty well. I've never worked for them or anything like that, but they know that I do magic, and they know that I just have a high level of interest in kind of security work.